Hey, this is Heidi with America's Meanest Cars, and on today's CarCast, presented by Reilly Auto Parts, we have Kyle Wade from BoostedBoiz.
What's up?
What are we in today, Kyle?
We are currently sitting in the Plaidyssey here.
This is pretty wild.
Yeah, this is a Tesla Plaid with a Honda Odyssey body swap on top of it.
When did you get the idea to do this?
Probably about 2 years ago, I had the idea. I was just on Google and I happened to look up the wheelbase of a Honda Odyssey since I have one sitting over here, and it was only 1.5 inches off a Tesla Plaid, and I was just trying to think of how I could create the ultimate sleeper since we already have the other Odyssey.
Yeah.
So I've always just had this dream to build a super fast stealth sleeper minivan. I just think it's funny.
I think it's so funny, and like this part right here is really kind of hilarious to me. It was like how long it is from far back.
Yeah, because this was designed to be like more of a sports car.
Yeah.
It was a sedan, whereas in a minivan or SUV, the driver and dash is a little scrunched forward.
Right at the middle there.
Yeah, so since the wheelbase is the same, but everything's not scrunched forward in the Tesla, you get this really long dash, and the windshield's like way out there, but it's not too bad.
How does is it like driving weird with it being so far back?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty normal. Yeah, at first I think it's kind of different, but then once you start driving it around, you really just don't even think about it anymore.
I can see that. But like right now, you feel like so like shrunken down and...
Yeah, a little bit. You know, the visors are kind of hard to reach, but you can still get to all of it.
The visors are kind of reach. I think that would... Well, maybe your height it would be about right.
Yeah, it's probably not for short people.
No, definitely not. And just add some like higher seats.
Yeah, you get some booster seats.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're hoping to put the rest of the interior back in it.
Like normal, like Tesla interior?
Yep, we still have all the Tesla interior, so the back seats will go in it. All of it. So we'll be able to put like the speakers back in the doors, hopefully. We want to try to incorporate as much of the Tesla as we can back into the van. So what's really cool right now is I can show you, like, see how we have the diagram of the Tesla right here?
Yeah.
This is the...
Here, hold on. Let me...
You want to sell it a little bit?
Yeah, I do.
So this is the first thing that we've integrated from the Tesla to the van. If we actually hit this, we can pop the hood. So we actually use the Tesla hood latch with the Odyssey hood. So that pops the hood automatically. So we're hoping we can do that with more things, like open the charge port, and maybe we'll run the charger through the gas door and it automatically opens up. And we want to rewire the Tesla headlights and taillights into the Odyssey so that all of that functions. And when we go to like our windows on here, we can actually like control the windows through here and try to get the Tesla to control as many things on this Odyssey body as we can. So
like, because that's been like 2 years that you're kind of planning on it. Did it go better or worse, like as far as putting it on?
I'd say it went really good.
Really?
Yeah, I wasn't sure what it was going to turn into or if it was even going to be possible. But yeah, once I kind of got the two donor vehicles, I got a Tesla and a Test Odyssey before we actually dove into buying a full-blown one. Yeah, Tesla.
Tesla.
It actually went together pretty easy. For the first couple weeks, I was skeptical. I was like, I don't know if it's going to work. But once I got it close enough to where I got the Odyssey body onto the other car, then I realized that it would work. So
because originally you were going to do it on your other van, not the donor van.
Yeah, originally.
And then you're just like, I'm so far in, we're just going to keep it as it is, or...
Yeah, it was already so much work to get this van body to this point that I was like, I'm not doing all that over again.
Do you feel kind of bad that you did that since you had, or are you just going to find something to do with that?
Well, the plan is I might possibly get another Tesla Model X and make an even better, more refined version of this, where the dash and everything actually does line up properly.
That would be super cool.
So that...
What do you call that then?
I don't know, just the Plaidyssey V2. I don't know what I'd call it.
Okay,
it would be
so
just
needs to be worked on and thought through a little bit.
I figured this one, no matter what, this will be our fun beater one that we can have fun with.
Yeah.
Do experiments with. This one also comes with all of the drag strip mode features and the track mode stuff, whereas the Model X, you don't get that stuff. Right. So we would sacrifice a lot of that. But it would be like more refined, and you wouldn't have this weird pillar right here. Everything would be normal. This would be farther back.
Right.
The windshield would be closer.
Now, when you get through the door, it's like this little tiny part where...
Yeah, the seats would be higher in the Model X, all that. So it will feel normal. It will feel like you'll be able to get in it, and someone would not suspect a thing. They'll just be like, this is a minivan with a Tesla interior in it, and they won't think anything of it.
That's super.
So that might happen in the future. So we still got a second van.
And for now, I think this is a good platform to start with.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very happy with how it's turned out.
Because
It's pretty
you've
cool.
enjoyed and like liked the Tesla stuff for a little while, and I think that's cool to see it like integrated and like mixed up some.
Yeah, it's cool because it's like the Tesla is like kind of what's new. The EV stuff, a lot of people are kind of skeptical about all the EV stuff, I know, but I just think the technology that's in them is freaking nuts. And I've always thought they were cool for how fast they are. And I was just trying to think, how can we incorporate that with like what we do? And then that's how the idea kind of came together, because we're known for Hondas and all this stuff.
So quite a lot of fast vehicles.
Yeah, a few.
Right? So how many world's fastest do you have?
Well, this technically, if you want to call it an Odyssey, is now the world's fastest Odyssey. And if you don't consider this an Odyssey, our other one is definitely an Odyssey, which is still Honda powered with a 4-cylinder turbo. So we got the fastest Honda Odyssey minivan. We have the fastest, and these are all quarter mile records, by the way. So standing quarter mile.
Right.
So not fastest, because a lot of people get that confused. It's technically quickest. Yes. Yeah. So in the quarter mile, we have the quickest Odyssey and fastest. We have the quickest and probably the fastest Acura NSX. That orange one right over there has been an 8.8 in the quarter, and we're building another one of those to go even faster. We also have the world's quickest MR2 in the quarter mile, which it's sitting outside. It has been a 7:59 at 192 miles an hour. And I think we have a fourth.
I thought you had a fourth.
I think we have a four. I mean, I think it's the Tesla. So before we put
before it was the Plaidyssey.
Yes.
It was.
Yeah, before we put the body on this, we cut everything off of it, obviously, to do the body swap. And we took almost 1,000 pounds out of the Model S. And we took this to a drag strip, and we got it down to a 871 in the quarter from a Tesla. So this is also the fastest Tesla in the world. But it's a little slower now with the weight of the van body and the aerodynamics. But yeah,
before you had taken off all the doors and made it E-Roy, right? Mm-hmm. So and now
it had an exo cage on it with a big wing. Yeah. But the whole plan from the beginning was to put this van body on it. So that was while it's apart. Let's do something cool with it. So
have you enjoyed the process of making like the video and stuff about this? Because to me that seems like it was kind of a large undertaking. Because it seemed like it was a long process.
It was a very long process. Yeah. Ton of work, a lot of time went into it. I don't think people realize how much time goes into even just getting it to where it is.
My thought was like the amount for like the video side and whatnot. Like you're talking a really long time for even just like planning it out, file management, that type of stuff. Or was that not as difficult?
That wasn't too bad. I knew once I got everything, I just put a file aside and just threw everything in there. But then when the time came and I had to go through all of it was a chore. Yeah. Because it was just like hours of stuff. And I'm like, how much of it do I want to
But I think it seems like it did really well. And it's a really fun thing to see. And like, it just sounds so not what you expect.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like a Tesla.
Oh, yeah. Silent. Exactly. Exactly. So before like all of doing all the Hondas and stuff, you didn't always just do Hondas, right?
I would say for the most part.
Oh, okay.
I started with Honda.
I set this question up really wrong. But you did a lot of like scooter stuff, yeah?
Yeah. You're saying like before the cars in general?
Before cars in general. You did a whole lot of like scooter stuff?
Yeah, I used to go to the skate park a lot.
One of the things that I've been looking for like my kids and whatnot are different like scooters, and like the Razor ones kind of are not awesome. Do you have a recommendation that would be like good ones?
There's a few. I feel like they may have changed since I've been out of it for so long. But off the top of my head, there's like Lucky Scooters. There's Import Scooters, InwardScooters.com, MGP Scooters. Okay. There's a ton. Envy. There's a lot of scooter brands that are good. Okay. Basically, they're all good as long as you don't get one that has the little folding mechanism. Yeah. As long as it's a one-piece solid. Because
they've been junk, and my kids have been wanting to try and do like all the tricks, and that just gets
if you just go online and just type in like trick or stunt scooter.
Does it ever freak you out doing any of the scooter tricks?
Not really.
Really? Because like every time you do it, like after like the burnouts and stuff at like the cleanest cars, I'm like, oh my god, you're gonna break your ankles.
No, they don't worry me too much.
That's good.
Yeah, that's some of the simpler stuff. Because back when I used to do it, I got to the point where I could do like backflips and stuff like that at the skate park, but that's where I kind of stopped.
And then like transitioned.
Yeah, and then I started leaning more into liking cars, and I stopped going to the skate park as much.
Did you ever think that YouTube would be to where it is in your life, or did you have that vision, or did it just kind of happen?
I had no intention of it turning into what it is right now. I just remember back when I would watch YouTube videos, I was starting to get into the car stuff. I had my Honda Civic, which was my first car, and I'd go online and I'd look up like mods for Honda Civics, or I'd be curious as like, what's the fastest Honda Civic in the world? I'd just start digging in and seeing what is out there, and then I'd find all these videos on YouTube, and I slowly got into wanting to modify my car, so I'd look up other YouTubers that were doing stuff to cars, and I think back then there was not many people doing it.
Yeah.
A big one back then was these kids called Hager Garage, and I used to watch those videos, and they were doing really well on YouTube, and I had a friend group that felt very similar to what they had going on, and I felt like, you know, we could do that too. I didn't think...
Yeah. You didn't think that it would necessarily be a career,
I didn't
like
think it
your
would
life?
turn into this. I didn't even know there was a lot of money in it. I didn't know you could actually make a living off of it. I just thought it was a fun thing. Like,
Right.
you know, we could still get some watchers and viewers and just like have our own little kind of community if we just put videos out.
Right.
I definitely had the intention of like trying to grow a fan base, but I didn't know it would really, you know, be something significant. Like, oh, we have like a few hundred people one day. That'd be cool to just like tune into what we're doing. But yeah, it just kind of blew up out of nowhere after we just kept posting stuff. And I mean, we were just dumb kids working on cars. And I mean, we're not much different now. We just have refined some of our vehicles, but we still got the same cars from day one, essentially, other than the ones that we've added. You know, I haven't gotten rid of anything since those first videos.
Originally started with your hatch, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then
it was just my hatch, the red one, and my wagon. Those are the only two cars I have.
And that you've done all sorts of crazy stuff too, with like changing an all-wheel drive and stuff too, right?
Yep. Well, it's funny because the hatch, which was the first car on the channel, which you'd think would get like the most attention because it was the, you know, that was like my baby
original,
of the channel. Yeah, it was like the OG car that helped build the channel. It's still pretty much on this, other than the all-wheel drive stuff and like some other minor things, it's still pretty much the same as it has always been.
My favorite part is like the roof. It's like
yeah, it has a zebra headliner in it. I did that when I was in high school. I thought it was so cool.
Do you still feel like it's so cool? It just feels part of it.
I wouldn't do it ever again on a car, but it's part of that car.
Yeah.
And now the roll cage is in. Once I put the cage up, like now you can't take the headliner out. It'd be really.
So it's there for life.
It's in there.
That's beautiful.
So, and if you look in the back of my blue wagon, it has a zebra wrapped subwoofer box to match.
Really?
Because of that.
Was it the same?
It used to be in the red Civic when I was in high school, and then I took it out when I started building it. Yeah, because the wagon was my daily, so I could build the red car.
Okay.
That's the only reason I got the wagon, so I could start tearing into the red car because I'd need a car to get around.
Absolutely.
And then they all just turn into race cars eventually.
Is there any car that you have that's not race car?
I got my Porsche, the Cayman S, out there.
I mean,
it's stock. I haven't done nothing to it.
Okay. Well,
just has like an exhaust on it.
Okay.
It will probably turn into a project at some point, but we got that. Got our Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Okay, so nothing.
Me and my girlfriend share that. We got the smart car if I need to get around. So
the smart car is adorable.
I love that thing.
Would you ever modify it?
No.
You're just gonna keep it.
We can't touch that one. We need it to push the race cars at the track.
Yeah. I mean, that'll be a good investment for it and save some time and walking.
Yep.
Is there anything that any bad advice that you've ever been given that you've taken?
Not
good advice?
Necessarily. I'm sure there's a lot. I feel like I can't really reflect on it right now. I don't know. I just feel like I just kept doing what I think is cool and fun, and we just keep filming and building stuff, and it just keeps going. I don't think there's any pivotal moment to where I got some advice that really set me on another course. I mean, I've definitely had some guidance and people telling me where I could, do better, take advantage of this audience you have, try to actually, make this sustainable. Because in the beginning, I didn't really, even to this day, we do the giveaways and selling merchandise. I've never been about doing all that. Mm-hmm. It's part of me doesn't really like doing it.
Right.
And I understand there's people that want to support the channel and stuff, but I, when we first started the channel, I refused to turn the ads on and stuff on the videos because I was I don't want to make money off it. I just think it's cool to do. But at the same time, if we can, get some income from this, we can actually level up. We can level up the projects, and level everything up. So it's kind of necessary.
Yeah.
So stuff like that, and getting into the business side of things, that's all kinds of stuff that I'm I hate dealing with all of it.
Really?
I just want to make videos and build cool stuff and have fun.
The fun side.
all the numbers and stuff. I mean, it takes some work. You have to sit down, definitely figure it out. Because we're at a point now where I got to take it seriously.
Yeah.
You know, we got taxes to worry about. We got adult things to do. So.
That's never fun.
Never fun. It was definitely different like 5 years ago when it was just like some kids hanging out in the garage, just having fun, like no responsibilities.
Like maybe not first. I might be wrong on this, but like your reaction videos, were those kind of some of the first ones? Or like, was that more after you got it built and then started to do stuff?
Those were still pretty early on. I had the video where I took some people in my Civic. That one like really blew up and kind of put us on the map. We already had a decent subscriber base, but yeah, I started doing those reaction videos and they started just getting traction every time. But
because when I see like your mom in the NSX, I think it's probably one of my favorite videos of all time. I think it's just hilarious, like her giggle. Has there like been a reaction that you liked so much?
Probably just her, because she's probably the one that gets genuinely scared the most.
Oh,
like it's funny. Like you can be in a normal car with my mom and just kind of floored, and she's like, whoa. Yeah, so imagine that, but like times 10 in one of our cars. Like she genuinely gets really scared, but like she doesn't hate me. Like she knows what I'm about to do, and she thinks it's fun.
Prepared.
Yeah, it's like a roller coaster to her. Like she's one of those people that would scream her head off on a roller coaster, but she's purposely getting on the roller coaster. Yeah, like she knows what's coming, but she just can't control it. But yeah, every time I take my mom in a car, it's pretty funny.
It really makes me laugh. Just like her giggle after is just like perfect.
Yeah.
Precious. Any other like projects after this, or is the next Tesla stuff where you're going?
I don't have anything planned as far as like a secret big project like this, but we're going to continue to try to refine this thing. We got all of the other cars to try to upgrade and make better. We got the Civic over there with the 2J in it. So we're going to try to work on that, get it going. Oh, and then we do have an NSX, a third NSX that we're building that I just said that we have another one coming up. So my friend Hayden's doing the roll cage in that right now. So we're hoping that one will be, a step above the MR2.
Now, do you enjoy all the drag racing, or would you branch out to other type of racing elements? Or is that just kind of where you're comfortable now?
I mainly like drag racing. I know there's so much more we could do with like, road coursing and just like all kinds of stuff, but I don't know what it is. We used to street race a lot back when the channel was young, so it's just like bragging rights, whose car's faster in a straight line down the highway. And I don't know, I have a couple like old memories of just like riding one of my friend's Mustangs or something that I thought was so fast, and it's like the first time I felt like any sort of like real acceleration, and I like got that bug, like I'm like, oh, this is cool, like I want my car to do that. And ever since then, it's just all about straight line acceleration for me. Okay. I don't know. I just like going from a stop to.
Have you done any like
100 plus as fast? Not too much. No.
You should try.
I've been on Sebring once with the other minivan, so I don't know if that counts. But I've never really like dove into road coursing at all. No.
I think you'd really enjoy it.
I do like go karts, so.
Like, I think you'd enjoy doing something like that.
Yeah, I think it would be fun. And I definitely want to get into it, but
especially with some like all drive stuff with it, I think it could be. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it could be a whole nother kind of avenue for us.
Yeah.
I think there's only so much we can do, and I think I feel like it's tough with road coursing because it's hard to like
come at from like.
I feel like it's hard. Angle. Yeah, it's like this. You have to build a certain type of car that fits a certain formula to like go fast. Whereas like drag racing, you can break more rules and still do like cool stuff. I feel
and make it more maybe.
I could be wrong though. I mean, I'm sure if we bring this Odyssey to a road course, it's going to be pretty impressive for what looks to be an Odyssey. It'll probably look pretty fast for a van, so I'm sure there's stuff we could do like that. But I don't know. I haven't really got into the road course side of things or anything else. No. Just always like drag racing and just seeing who's faster. Yeah, it's just a battle of who makes more power most of the time.
Do you like doing anything besides cars? What like on your days off?
Not really. I mean, I'll play video games sometimes.
What do you play?
Play Fortnite.
Okay.
Hop with the boys, go drop in on some Fortnite. But other than that, I mean, I don't scooter anymore. I really don't have any hobbies other than this because.
Do you read or like anything? No?
No.
So it's cars and some gaming.
It's cars, very rarely gaming and editing. is all I do.
Editing's your favorite?
No, not at all. I wish we could have an editor.
Yeah.
But
editing.
it's one of those things where it's hard to outsource that kind of thing.
I think you'd have to have the right editor to match a certain style and
Yeah.
you imagine too.
And I think the problem with how I do things is like I might want to stay up late and get something done at 8 or 9 p.m. that I film, and
Not having.
I want to get the video out like that next morning or that night. Like I would have to become much more organized and scheduled to like have.
How do you just not have like a schedule? You just kind of go based on what you're.
Yeah, we just go day by day. There's no schedule. Like I'm uploading this video right now that we just filmed today. I just put it out as we go.
Do you feel, because everybody gets so like caught up in like algorithm and stuff like that, where it's like be consistent. Do you not think that having like a daily schedule helps, or?
It probably would.
Okay.
But
I mean, you're not doing that right now, so.
I just, yeah, with whatever we're doing, it works. I just kind of just get stuff done as we go. And I feel like if we tried to schedule things, I feel like it puts more pressure on you to like make that deadline.
Right.
Or it's like the way we do it, it's like, if it happens, it happens. And we can easily like, if I'm planning on having a video out on this thing, but we're missing a part or something, I can easily shift the rest of the day. Like, well, we didn't have that part, so we're working on this. Whereas if, you know, someone's like, oh, this is our schedule, we need to get that video out. Like, you're screwed because you don't have this part.
Have you had to deal with a lot of like the back-ordered parts and all that kind of stuff the last couple of years?
It hasn't affected us too bad, no.
That's good.
Yeah, we've gotten everything.
Because I mean, I think that would throw quite a wrench in kind of making the content and stuff that you're trying to.
Yeah, no, we haven't had too many issues getting parts and stuff. So
nice. And then you're finishing this giveaway. By the time this video's up, it will be on.
That one will be over. Yeah, it's just a Civic Type R that we picked up. The main reason I got that was just, honestly, I do really love those cars. They're cool. And I was going to pick one up as a daily before the Porsche, but I thought that would make a good giveaway car. And then again, that's like another one of those things where I'm trying to capitalize on this moment where like I know this van is going to do really good content wise for us, and I'm doing my best to like make itself return, you know, return on my investment here, because I put so much time into this and money and effort into making this thing, and I know this is going to be one of my peak videos or ideas that I've had. So I'm just trying to take advantage of that at different angles. So then, you know, whatever we generate from doing that, you know, hopefully someone will win a badass car. So it helps go to those guys, you know, our fans, they get merch, whatever, helps promote our merch side of things. And then I can turn that back into hopefully something doing something cool like next year, next time I get a crazy idea. Yeah. Because now, and just like keep the snowball going.
Like the moment and keeping the momentum going.
Yeah.
Any words on, are you going to do any more burnout cars or anything like that? Because everything has been very drag racing related.
Yeah, we have the Sidekick and the 240 that we can take out whenever we do that. But lately, the burnout cars haven't been my main focus. Yeah. We just really need to.
I mean, this takes up just a ton of time.
Yeah,
a lot of effort on it.
Yeah, I'd really love to expand like what we got going on here, because we can only do so much out of this shop. So if I had more room to like do a burnout build on the side or something like that we could take more serious, I consider it. But right now it's tough, because I mean, you see the room we have.
Yeah.
Like I don't have much space, and to do like a proper legit burnout car like I would want to, it's going to be a whole process. But if I had way more room where I could have one being built kind of slowly in the corner, it'd be different.
Is there a side like mechanically or like fabrication or anything that you'd want to learn more of doing or become better at? Or is that not really a priority?
I think right now my main priority would be trying to make the videos as good as they possibly can be. And I think that's kind of like the job I'm taking on right now, is the media, editing, making sure my thumbnails are good, like just keeping all the fans engaged, stuff like that, where because now I have Wyatt, and he's been a huge help with the mechanical side of things. Because before, what people don't realize is, you know, most of the channel was almost all me. Like before I moved out here, 90% of BoostedBoiz, the work, the editing, the filming, everything was done by me. And I had my friends on camera that would be in there for their personalities, having fun, but no one realized that I was staying up, you know, till midnight, 2 a.m. every night, finishing the car, filming, editing, and then just doing that every single day. Whereas now Wyatt has been like one of my first real employees to like help me work on the cars, and he's been such a big help. So now I can kind of step away from the cars, because I would honestly, I would leave some loose ends on the cars because I would just try to make it,
Get it done.
rig it together for the video and move on to the next thing, where Wyatt can actually take the time to make it nice, do it right. And he's very knowledgeable, and he's just helped me a lot. So I can step back from that. So I've just kind of let him focus more on making sure things are done right on the car, so I can focus on making sure that I'm getting videos out. I keep making ideas and keep content flowing for the channel. So that's like my main
What's something
focus
that
right
you've
now.
noticed on like your thumbnails, or something that's like you find yourself consistently doing?
I mean, on my thumbnails, I just try to take something that looks like an action shot or just a clear photo of what we're doing. And I could probably spend way more time on the thumbnails, but I just make sure that the thumbnail is very important. Yes.
So if you were to be a little bit better, maybe they'd be better?
Yeah, possibly. But at the end of the day, I think you also need to make a good video.
Right.
At the same, like, I also don't want to, like this video on the Plaidyssey, I did like a really kind of clickbaity, like good poppy thumbnail, I feel like, for this video, but the content is like deserving of it.
Yeah.
I don't want to make a super crisp, like nice thumbnail for like a kind of everyday boring video, because then it's gonna, I feel like it's clickbaiting people to watch not that good content, and then they're not gonna come back, sort of thing. So if the video is kind of like an everyday work day in the shop, I'm not gonna like go over the top of the thumbnail. I'm gonna kind of let them know
on where you want your time.
Yeah, they can see the thumbnail pop up. They're gonna already know, oh, this is kind of a more regular day video, where it's like, if I'm like putting all caps, like this thumbnail's crazy, like, so they know, okay, this is a video that he's actually put in effort. We're gonna go watch that. But if I did that on every video, it's like The Boy Who Cried Wolf, like, oh, this is a badass video. This is a badass video. I feel like you might not retain everybody as good. But it would be awesome if I could get to a point where you can just make constant quality videos.
Would you go like step back and do less videos? And
it's hard to say.
Okay.
I've always thought about that, because it's
like, how would you make it better than, like, what about your videos do you not necessarily like now?
It'd probably just be like more time into each video, and posting less frequently.
Okay.
You see that formula work really well for a lot of other automotive YouTubers, that they'll do a whole build kind of start to finish in one video, because nowadays everyone's attention spans is like nothing. So they want to see it all done all at once. So luckily we have a ton of fans that keep coming back, and they'll watch us do whatever it may be. But I feel like a lot of the automotive YouTubers that do really well, most of them have a build that takes them a month or so to get complete, and they put it all in one video, and it just keeps the viewer engaged.
Yeah, because you're watching like almost like a show in a sense from start to finish.
Yep, and that's my thought with like doing even this Plaidyssey video. I did it that same way. It was like a whole thing. I definitely could have cut it up and made it shorter, and I know we have a ton of fans that like to see like the more intricate step-by-step stuff. So I cut it down as much as I could, but still left it an hour long, because that was months of work into an hour video. But that video is already performing really well, and it just shows that like if I kept with that formula, it would probably do well for us. But like financially, it makes more sense financially to post more frequently with lesser quality videos where we're at right now. That's where I would need more help. So if we can be getting more cars done in the background, and it's not just me and Wyatt, and we have a third guy, Ryan, as well. He's helping us a lot right now with the merchandise and stuff, but he's, an extra hand just to help us get things done. But if we had a few more people just to make a solid team, and I could only focus on like quality videos start to finish and post them frequently, like, that would be the key. So
I mean, again, you're not doing bad by any means right now.
Yeah, I mean, we've come pretty far for just some kids. Yeah, some dumb kids. I honestly don't think I'm that I don't think I'm that much different than I was 5 years ago. I think I'm the same person, essentially. I might be somewhat more comfortable, like on camera and talking to stuff in a way, but other than that,
and you doing it on a consistent basis.
Yeah, but other than that, I'm like the same. Honestly, the Kyle back then might be smarter and more capable than me now, because I feel like I have more on my plate, where back then I was just like, I was focused on like one or two cars, and I could just, I don't know, chill. But now it's like I got to get all this stuff done constantly.
Yeah.
So who knows?
Well, we'll see what happens in the future here.
Yeah, either way, it's been freaking awesome. So we're sitting in a freaking
we're sitting
in a Plaidyssey right
in
now.
a Plaidyssey.
This was my dream for the last couple of years, so she still needs a little more work.
Is it cool to see like be semi done or like come to fruition?
Yeah, it's pretty sick. I like it a lot.
It's super cool and I really dig it.
It's just so different, and that's what I'm just trying to think of things that are different but cool, just original ideas, and that's another huge thing. You have to be original.
Well, I think part of it has to do with passion too, because like you have to enjoy what you're doing, and like that definitely comes through with what you're doing.
Yeah, definitely that, because I feel like it's one thing for somebody to do a project just because they
think it's gonna be cool,
just because they think it's gonna get views or something. But it's like if I didn't have a channel and I had some regular job, I'd still be building this thing in my backyard,
right?
Because I think it's a sick idea.
Yeah.
Like if I could afford a Tesla by other means, I would still probably do the same exact thing.
Yeah.
Just because I would have the same idea and I'd be like, I gotta make that happen.
It just needs.
It just wouldn't be on YouTube. If YouTube didn't pay, then I would just be doing it in secret.
Yeah.
And then I'd be a real sleeper.
Then nobody would know.
Then nobody would know.
That'd be just random videos. Yep. It's like, dude, did you see this van just go right by me?
Just be this van that sneaks out every now and
then. Well, so my friends at Reilly's, they wanted to hook you up.
Yes, I see that.
Some brake cleaner.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you,
O'Reilly's. We have 24 cans here. Just a ton of brake cleaner.
Here we got 2 whole cases.
Yeah.
I never get enough brake clean.
Never.
So I appreciate that.
Absolutely. Thank you for being on this podcast, CarCast, presented by Reilly today. And I look forward to seeing what you continue to do with this.
Yeah. So. Yeah, you definitely need to come on by. We can go take you for a ride.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do.
Let's do that.
But it's cool to see you too, From taking pictures, now you're doing your little podcast. It's working with O'Reilly's, giving me some brake cleaner.
I know. It's been a really cool thing to do, and I'm really excited to be part of it. So, as far as you guys go, please make sure that you subscribe so you can see what's on the next episode. Okay.